God.
This is stressful. I've never done something of this magnitude. I've never filmed something of this magnitude. Is that good? Is that good?
Sit down.
We love each other.
Hello! Hello, everybody!
Here, let me record on
Hi!
So, hello, my loves. I have a very special guest with me today. Why are you looking like you're being held against your will? So, introduce yourselves.
I am Tangi. I am the mother of these two lovely individuals.
And she runs an international
I
call
do.
center.
I manage an international call center, and I am the CEO of this family.
Yes. And you.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Isabella, and I am a singer and an actress and comedian.
And I, for those of you who don't know, am Sophia. I am a writer. So, today's morning talk, if you don't follow me, you won't know, but I do morning talks every day on Instagram. And so I decided to take it over to YouTube as like a little podcast format, and I thought, what better way to do it than when my family we're visiting for family weekend, and I was like, maybe I just won't do a talk today, but my mom proposed doing a talk, all three of us, so we're here doing that now. So the topic for today is, the topic is being an artist or a creative person in any facet of that, and what it's like to support an artist financially and emotionally. So Isabel, what are your thoughts on that?
What are my thoughts on that?
What are your insights? Because you're older than me, right?
I am.
So you graduated earlier than me. So you're very wise, like a wise old woman. So what do you have to say about being a performer? Because you've been pursuing your craft for longer than I've been pursuing my craft, just by virtue of being, older.
Okay. Let's see if I can remember what I wanted to say with my old little brain, but I think that being an artist is obviously going to be difficult, no matter who you are, what you're pursuing, because for most artists, you are working from contract to contract, which is hard to sustain, and usually you are told no a lot more than you will be told yes, and it can get very discouraging. So you just gotta keep cracking at it, and do odd jobs here and there, legally.
Legally, please.
Very important.
To make a living, and yeah, it's you gotta. If you don't think you can do it, then you're never gonna be able to do it. So
you have to be obsessed with what you're doing, and you have to be really ask yourself if you can handle the rejection and not take it personally, because you're gonna get a lot of rejection. So mother, as my financial backing for college, which I am very privileged to say, my parents, fund my college. Partially, I have loans of my own, of course.
Yes.
But as you have funded most of my college education, what is it like? What is it like?
What is it like on my end? It is like. It's good. You always want your kids to do more than you did. It's gonna improve their chances of success. In the performing arts or in writing, it's a little bit different. You're not guaranteed that success. You have to audition, you have to submit, and it's a little iffy. But I believe, and I always have believed, that they are very talented and they're good at what they do, and that they have the potential to succeed in their endeavors and accomplish their goals. So with that, as a parent, I am supporting them 100% as far as I can. and like encouraging them to continue to pursue it. Right? Is all I can do. Is you have to go for it. You have to go for it. If you have a passion, there's something you love, you have to go and try it. You have to go for it. If you don't succeed, well, at least you tried, and there's no regrets. But if you choose another field because it's a safe field, right? And you're always going to wonder, should I have tried to write that book? Should I have tried, musical theater? Should I have gone for it? Because you won't know if you would have succeeded or not because you didn't give it an opportunity. You have to find what you love and find a way to make money at it legally.
Yeah.
Legally.
And in this economy, no job is safe.
Exactly.
At this point,
Exactly.
every job is.
And no matter what job you do, whether it's making a hamburger, doing accounting, or whatever it is, do it to the best of your ability. Like, don't half-ass it.
Yeah. You can.
Because the thing is, even in customer service, even at McDonald's, like when I drive up to the window, I don't want to drive up and you're hanging the bag out the window. Like, I want you to look me in my eyes. I want you to say, hello, how are you? Good morning. Because that's just calm. That's home training. Like, you should have that. And if you don't have it, learn it.
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter what you do, you should take pride in your job. Because McDonald's is not meant to be a forever job. But everybody has to have that first job.
Yeah.
Well, I just did some 5-second research because I remembered something, and it's called ikigai. It's a Japanese concept about life and
I
like
know this.
yes.
I know this.
And it's find a profession, right? Something you're good at, something you love, something you can be paid for, and something the world needs. And in the intersection of all that is what you should do with your life. So for me, something I'm good at writing, and what goes with that, just basically anything literary, like editing, I'm not the most perfect editor, but I'm good, I have a good eye. So something I can be paid for writing, but you have to kind of hustle your way up that ladder. So in the meantime, I could be paid for my editing. What the world needs, I believe they need writing. I believe they're gonna always need that. And what I love, obviously writing and all that stuff. But for some people, those things don't line up as much, but trust me, you will find like that center. And everyone changes throughout life, so that might pivot. Like even now, I'm like, I don't know if editing is a thing for me. I might go for a master's program to do like education. So, things shift, but it's really important to find something you love and that you're passionate about and that you can be paid for. And what's actually a quote by like MLK, right? Isn't it like street sweeper or something? Yeah. So what Mom was talking about if you're like a McDonald's worker, like, take it seriously to a degree. I think it's important to find some sort of meaning in anything you're doing, because if you're constantly chasing something, like, you're never gonna be happy. Like, you can work up to what you want to do. Maybe you want to be a writer as well, and you're watching this and you're working at McDonald's for now. But if you can find one aspect of your job you enjoy, like, oh, I like the smile on the kid's face when they open the toy. Or like when the dogs come for, maybe you work at Starbucks, when dogs come for a puppuccino. Like, that's what I like about my job, is like being able to make people happy. Just find something you like about it. And this quote is, if it falls your lot to be a street sweeper, sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures, sweep streets like Beethoven composed music, and sweep streets like Leontine Prince, is that how it's pronounced? Sings before the Metropolitan Opera. So just take pride in whatever you're doing, or find something valuable in your life and where it is at now while you're pursuing whatever you're trying to meet.
There are going to be bad days, or there are going to be people that come in and are just crotchety old people, and there's going to be other people that come in and they have a great outlook, you know what I mean? And some people are just kind of too happy too early in the morning, and that's okay. But you're going to deal with all those types of people, and no matter what field you're in, whether you're answering phones, whether you're working at a retail store, whether you're working at McDonald's, whether you're a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, like you're gonna have to deal with people, no matter where you are. So the sooner you get adjusted to that, the better. But if you go into work, and we've all had those jobs, well, they haven't had many of those jobs, but if I'm, older, obviously, I have gone to jobs that I hated the people, that I hated the culture, that I just detested being at. And I'd go to bed on Sunday thinking, oh my God, I gotta go to work tomorrow. I luckily am not in that job now. I'm good. I had to go to work and I had to make the best of it. And that's it. And then I eventually grew at that job. I learned what I needed to learn from it and I moved on to a better job. And that's what McDonald's is, or Chick-fil-A, or whatever you're in that you don't particularly care for. You're gonna learn something there. If nothing else, you're gonna get that work history that's gonna show that you could keep a job for X amount of time and leave with a reference to go to the next job. So every job is important because we need people making burgers, we need people serving coffees, we need people answering phones, and that's just the way it is. So don't think of it as a whatever job. Yes, it might be a whatever job, but take advantage of it while you can, like learn from it, grow from it. And every one of those jobs has management opportunities, has people that you can look up to that you can learn from. So take that. And the customers are important. Like, smile at the people, make eye contact. That's people skills. You need them in any field at every age. And some people don't learn that at home. So teach it to yourself. Step out of your comfort zone, make eye contact. Talk to that person.
And the thing is, you never know who you're gonna meet. Like, you can meet random people at random times at whatever job or whatever thing you're at. And if, obviously if you're at work, you don't wanna have a conversation with everyone. But if you make light conversation, there'll be every time you have a job, there's gonna be once or twice or however many times that someone goes, so what do you do? If you work at just a fast food chain, sometimes they'll ask you what's your dream, or what's your this. You don't know what job the person's gonna have, who they might know.
Exactly.
They might help you out. You literally have no idea. Mm-hmm. And in our society, we're obsessed with instant gratification and things happening immediately. And that's just not how life is set up anywhere. So, just because you're really talented or qualified or whatever, for everybody, it's a lot harder to do the thing you want to do than just being talented and great isn't enough. Mm-hmm. There's more to it that comes from that. And some people have more advantages in life. Some people are a little more disadvantaged. But everyone still needs to do hard work to get there and work hard to maintain their spot in the race of life or whatever. But there was a quote that someone told me when I was in high school, and they told us to be exceptional, not the exception. So, sometimes you feel like you deserve this, or, well, why is that person getting this and I'm not at this time, or whatever. You're not the exception to life. Just because you have X, Y, and Z about you does not mean you are more deserving or less deserving of someone. So strive to be the best you can be. Strive to be great in everything that you do, and good things will come to you. And everyone's on their own timeline. So just because someone else is getting something, that's a great opportunity, and you didn't get that same opportunity, and you might think you're better qualified for that opportunity, that something probably bigger and better is coming your way somewhere down the line, and that opportunity probably isn't for you. I really do. I'm religious, and I believe that God or whoever you believe in, or if you don't believe in anything, I feel like the universe protects you from things that aren't meant for you. Mm-hmm. And I feel like those opportunities that you really, really were gunning for and you missed it for a reason. So don't get discouraged. You just have to keep at it. You have to be delusional to an extent. You have to really, every actor that I've seen have an interview where they ask, well, did you ever think you wouldn't be famous, or how did you get, they're because I was delusional. And because there was never a moment in my life where I was I'm not going to make it. I thought 100%, it's gonna happen for me. I'm gonna be in movies on TV. I'm gonna be in a theater. I'm gonna do this and that and that. And if you're not delusional and you don't think with 100% certainty that you can succeed, who is gonna believe in you if you don't believe in you? If you walk into a room and you're insecure and you're this and that, even if you are, you gotta fake it. You gotta pretend that you're confident, whether you're interviewing to be...
You gotta sell yourself.
Marketing, to be a manager, to be chief of staff, to be an artist, to be whatever. You have to appear confident and like you are your number one fan, because no one else is gonna trust you with their company, their baby, their play, their whatever, if you don't even like feel like you can do it, or you feel like like you're sorry for being there. Like you feel like you're apologizing for like talking to them about like, can I have this job? No one's gonna wanna trust you with that. So you have to be a little delulu.
Something I noted when I was doing my poetry workshops in my first year of school is that when I would get constructive criticism, sometimes I would be like, oh yeah, like I knew that was off about my poem, or I knew this, like, and I would know that. Like I would walk into a workshop sometimes knowing, oh, they're probably gonna point out this or that. And what I found is don't apologize. You're there to work on your work or whatever. Don't apologize for any flaws in something. Like you can take constructive criticism and be like, thank you for your criticism, like I appreciate it, I'm gonna improve on this. But don't be like when you're about to read your poem to the whole classroom, say, oh yeah, and just to let you know, like I'm thinking of changing the title. Don't do that, because often I found actually in the workshops is that when someone would give me a criticism, when someone would give me like positive feedback, it was something I was insecure about in my writing. So you don't know if they're going to compliment that thing, but when you sell yourself already as insecure and apologizing for what you're doing, people start to perceive you differently. But also, networking is important, which I think, you probably know a lot more about since you're a performer, whereas me, networking is very important with writing. Like, I've gotten a lot of opportunities through my professors and through just making a good impression on people. But I think as a performer, because like writing is kind of a more solitary act, but performing is very social. So like, do you have any insight on networking?
I would say just in general, and this ties into what I will say in a second, in general, the key to living a happy life and to living a successful life is to be kind and compassionate and forgiving. If you're not a good person, like you will not be successful, or you won't be happy. You could be successful, but you're not going to be happy. And that's literally just the key to life. What was the thing you mentioned earlier? The
Ikigai?
Yeah. So I was watching a show where they go to blue zones, and they were trying to figure out why these people were living so long, living to be 100, living above. And they would ask them, they would be like, something that's really important is our ikigai, but also spending time with people, being kind, laughter, like those things lend you a long, happy, healthy lifetime. And when it's so important to have your people and to help your people. So a lot of the opportunities I've gotten and that my friends have gotten are opportunities that we help each other get. Or we work for this company and we suggest a friend to this company, or we let them know about an opportunity coming from that company that we think they'd be right for. And the last job I just had was my friend's, and she got sick and she recommended me to the company, and that's how I got that job. You have to help other people, lift up other people to also lift yourself up. So networking can start small between your friends, but everyone you meet, your professors, ask them advice, talk to your professors, meet with your professors. They have a wealth of knowledge, and they're not there, they don't go to college just because they studied something. Like, they have been in that industry as well and are usually currently working in that industry. Any professor you have in theater usually is currently also working in theater. If you have a writing professor, they are writing actively. History professors are researching. Talk to them. They're in the industry and they're well known in their industry. That's how you become a professor. And they make those connections when they go to workshops, to whatever, for schools. So they have a wealth of knowledge and networks and people they know that they can recommend to you. So take advantage of that. And if you don't go to college, if you go to a trade school, it's the same thing. Talk to industry professionals and seek out. And also, don't be afraid to email people. Mm-hmm. Email people who you think don't have the time to email you, because you have no idea what they're going to say. You know, you have no idea how they'll respond. If you are looking for an agent, email them. Hello, my name is blah, blah, blah. I'm currently performing in this, or my most recent performances are this and that at this place. Here's my headshot and resume. Thank you for your consideration. And just keep updating them on your life. They probably won't look at it for a while. But if you just send them like every few months, here's a life update, they're going to look at it eventually. They're going to be like, who's this woman blowing up my mailbox? Not like crazy. Don't be crazy with it.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like 3 to 6 months. Every 3 to 6 months. But, yeah, networking is very, very important. And the way you network is by being kind. You want to work a lot of places multiple times. You don't want to work a lot of places once. So you get the job, and then you got to keep the job. And you've got to be kind of respectful, no matter how much you think you know or how little you think someone else knows. Mm-hmm. You don't put anyone down. You don't, ride on your high horse. You use this opportunity to learn from others and to help others learn in a kind, respectful environment. And who knows, maybe like 5-10 years down the line, you'll see that person and they're going to be able to help you get some other job. So you really never know. That's why it's so important to be kind.
You really try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. You will eventually get your dues. You will eventually see the reward for what you're doing. So if you give love, eventually you're going to get love. If you give kindness, eventually you're going to get kindness. You might not see it immediately, but keep pushing, because at the end of the day, you have your integrity, and the thing's dying. The camera's dying.
Oh. How much more?
Well, anyway, so...
Well, the takeaway, stay kind, stay humble, help your people, and your people will
work
help
hard.
you. Work hard.
Pride in your job, whatever that is. Learn as much as you can about what you love to do, even if you don't have the resources to go to a 4-year university or whatever. Mm-hmm. That you have so much technology.
If you're watching this, you have a resource.
Like, you have so many resources that I didn't have when I was younger. So utilize it. You can YouTube anything and learn how to do it. Mm-hmm. Learn, get better at what you love to do. Because then when the right place, I tell them all the time, right place, right time. When you are at that right place, right time, and with the right people, you need to have the talent to back it up. You need to have the knowledge to back it up. Mm-hmm. You need to be able to speak what you know and get it across. And no matter if you have an education or not, a traditional, like a degree education, when you're talking and you know what you're talking about, they will recognize it. And when that opportunity presents itself, you need to be able to speak well and put your knowledge across so that they know that this thing just fell off the board. Anyway, that you're gonna make a good impression. We're running out of time.
We love you. God bless you. Class dismissed. And you would know that if you watch the morning talks. She doesn't watch them.
I do.
Don't be like,
I
be a learner.
a job.
So do I. I still watch it from my job.
I have a laptop on my phone at my job.
I watch
I'm
it from my
looking.
job.
Well, I'm old. I don't know how to use phones.
Well, okay, let me out.
Okay.
I need to get out.
As we so gracefully mentioned.
I love you guys.
Oh my God, can you get out?
Can you move the chairs?
Bloopers. Check out the
Answers to keep going.
Instagram
Unfortunately,
account.
there's only so much time in a day.